So rivers and glaciers go together because they do the same job of breaking down rock and moving it away, except they do it in different ways. We've reached the limits of my drawing capability, so I'd like to just draw your attention to some of the figures in the materials folder this week. Glaciers have a lot of definitions because there's terms associated with the erosional features that they create. Erosional features are the features at the top of the mountain, the sharp peaks called arêtes, and the holes where the snow filled in and melted away, that accumulation zone called cirques. And as they grind down over the mountain, more of a rock and ice mixture, they create big, huge U-shaped valleys as they carve their way down. And they carry that material downslope until the end of them, until they reach their terminal moraine or their final point, and then they melt away. And that's the bottom figure here. Those erosional features are found in the mountains. They have a lot of French names because they were discovered in the French Alps. The depositional features are features that we can find here in Ohio because Ohio was the terminal moraine for a few glaciation events. The glaciers covered most of the northern hemisphere. They carved out the Great Lakes as they traveled, scratching large striations in the rocks, creating huge grooves, glacial grooves up that can be seen around Kelly's Island. And even here in Stark County, they have left large deposits behind. There is a hike called Jackson Bog, and if you walk around and read the signs, you will see that many of those features are there because of the glaciers. They are piles of till, which are called kames, and eskers are there at Jackson Bog. In addition to the landforms left by the glaciers, there's actually plants that migrated on the front end of the glaciers. They were able to spread their seeds in front of the advancing glaciers. Those strange carnivorous plants, like the jack-in-the-pulpit and the sundew, are still there in the bog area. They've been able to survive against the competition from the Ohio natives because the rainwater that travels through the deposits left by the glacier becomes very alkaline in nature. That means it has a pH over 7. And so these features allow these plants to still thrive there. So I recommend taking a hike at the Jackson Bog when it's not hot. It is very hot along the boardwalk in the evening, so I recommend an early morning or maybe a dusk or a cooler day. So we have these features here in Ohio, and much of Ohio was formed by glaciers. Huge sand and gravel deposits left by the glaciers have made this area wonderful for groundwater as well as sand and gravel for construction.